Before your cousin rage quit Mario Kart and before kids were doing TikTok dances as Fortnite skins, there was Nintendo. The company practically raised us. The 2000s gave us the GameCube, the little lunchbox of a console we loved to defend as if it wasn't losing to PlayStation every year. Then came the Wii, which was the only console that turned living rooms into full-on emergency rooms. After months of rumors, leaks, and Reddit nerds arguing over frame rates, the Switch 2 is officially on the horizon. So, gentlemen, Nintendo has finally done it. But while gamers were fantasizing about 4K Mario and Metroid running smoother than ever, Nintendo had a different surprise: the price tag. Yep, the Switch 2 is shaping up to be Nintendo's most expensive console yet. And it's not just the hardware. Even the games are getting inflation treatment. Let's talk about how Nintendo's new toy might be the most wallet-draining console of the decade. First off, let's talk about the big pixelated elephant in the room, the base price. Depending on your region, the Switch 2 is expected to launch between $399 and $449. That's dangerously close to PS5 and Xbox territory. And yet, Nintendo is still not giving us an OLED screen, Bluetooth audio, or even decent online support. You're basically paying next-gen prices for last-gen tech with a fresh coat of Nintendo nostalgia slapped on it. Now here is where things get spicy. Nintendo is reportedly pricing their AAA games at $70 now. Yes, 70. This means you'll be shelling out full next-gen pricing for titles like Super Mario Odyssey 2, Zelda Echoes of Hyrule, or some kind of new Kirby game that looks like it was made in 2013. Even remasters and ports are getting this type of treatment. Imagine paying $70 for Wind Waker HD again. Anyways, Nintendo Switch 2 pricing just dropped and my wallet has literally filed a restraining order. Packages include the new Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart bundle going for $500. This better be coming with a new set of cheat codes. You could also buy it separately for the price of a decent therapy session after realizing that you spent way too much on one game. And he's back. He's angry. And now he costs more than your weekly groceries. Donkey Kong Bonanza. They also had the humility to add a Switch 2 camera for $50 so that you can see yourself crying in 4K. A Joy-Con controller set for $90, a carrying case for $35 to protect your console that you'll be scared to take outside anyway. This console literally comes with everything, except remorse. It's like Nintendo said, let's make games fun again, but only for people with a trust fund.
Guys, check this out. You're not gonna believe this. Watch. Boom! There we go, right? It also has 24-player Mario Kart. Yeah!
Nintendo used to be the last bastion of semi-reasonable pricing since the Wii U era, aka Nintendo's awkward emo phase. They clung to that sweet $60 like it was a life raft in a sea of overpriced AAA games. And for over a decade, they held on strong. Then came 2023, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom dropped. So did our collective jaws at $70. A bold new era of premium pricing disguised as it's Zelda, shut up and pay. Fast forward just 2 years later and now Mario Kart World is out here charging $80 like it's a luxury car with a red shell. At this rate, by 2030, we'll be refinancing our homes for Yoshi's Island remastered. It's no secret we're living in an era where inflation isn't just hitting your grocery bills, it's coming for your consoles too. Bread's expensive, eggs are luxury items, and now your childhood escapism costs just as much as your monthly car payment. Apparently, the more tech you cram into a system, the more Nintendo has the right to cram into your wallet. And now we've got fans crying into their Joy-Cons because the Japanese language Switch 2 costs $100 less than the everybody gets a turn global version. But honestly, it just makes sense if you look at it. Nintendo is thriving in Japan, okay? That's their home turf, their main stage, the Beyonce. So, of course they're gonna spoil that audience. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just side characters getting DLC level attention. Nintendo is so common in Japan that even when a kid pulls out a Switch, the Yakuza have to put their swords down and acknowledge its presence. And maybe stop killing people for a while and yeah. Nintendo execs didn't explicitly bring up the global trade chaos sparked by President Donald Tariff Tantrum Trump, who basically beefed with every country on earth like it was a WWE storyline. But the vibes were loud and clear. The Switch 2's pricing, yeah, it's giving geopolitical anxiety. Now we're literally living in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. If you know, You know, Nintendo, trying to dodge Uncle Sam's financial beatdown, actually moved Switch production to Vietnam back in 2019 to escape those chunky China tariffs from Trump's world tour of chaos. But just as they thought they outsmarted the system, boom, Trump slaps 46% tariffs on Vietnam on the exact day of the Switch 2's debut. You can't make that up. So now we're looking at a console price that probably came from Nintendo squinting at a crystal ball and praying for mercy, and that guesswork still very much happening. Pre-orders are delayed thanks to the latest round of who's gonna survive the tariffs game. Come on, global trade baby. Isn't it a fun game? And I know you might be wondering, how does Nintendo keep getting away with this? Well, it's pretty simple. Nostalgia and no competition. Nintendo's got a chokehold on families, casual gamers, and die-hard fans.
Excuse me, sir. I do believe I would like to purchase one Game Boy game. It's no longer possible to make Nintendo eShop purchases for Wii U and 3DS. I'm trying to be a good paying customer. Why not put the games on Switch? They aren't available on Switch. I'd like to purchase those games on the eShop with my money. That makes sense to me. Then do it. We currently have no plans to offer classic content in other ways and also don't pirate our games.
And while Xbox and PlayStation are fighting over who has the best graphics and exclusives, Nintendo's out here re-releasing Donkey Kong Country and laughing all the way to the bank. Naturally, the internet is divided. Hardcore Nintendo fans are lining up to pre-order the thing, acting like 440 isn't that bad because it's portable and family friendly. Meanwhile, others are calling it out for its blatant greed, especially when you consider how little the Switch 2 actually improves. No one asked for 30 FPS Animal Crossing at next-gen prices, okay? But wait, it actually gets worse. Wanna play online? That'll be $20 to $50 a year, it's not that much, it's really just, entry level. And then they try to justify it and tell you know what, it depends on your membership tier, there's levels to this shit. Nintendo might be selling you your childhood memories, but they're charging like it's Louis Vuitton, and people can't even afford the fake Louis Vuitton, okay? So, the question worth a million pixels. Is Nintendo really a scam? Well, kinda. Nintendo's banking on your nostalgia and loyalty to sell you recycled content at premium prices. But here's the messed up part, it'll work. People will still buy it, you'll still buy it, because deep down we all want one more go at a Mario Kart domination or at least one last nostalgic hit of Smash Bros. Just don't act surprised when your bank account starts looking like a WarioWare game, okay? Anyways, my name is Saint Hillary-ous and I make fun of pop culture because therapy is just, well, way too expensive. And if you like the video, be sure to comment and subscribe so that I make enough money and not look as chopped as Dabo. Peace!